if you got a girl, don't mean no disrespect, but thoughts of you rule my world. I even dream of you, I swear.
Hi, everyone. Welcome back to Happy Hour Talks. My name is Ruth.
And I'm China.
And today we're going to be talking all things shopping while black. So, I'm not sure if you all have heard the news. There's just been a lot of interesting conversations going on and publicity going on regarding black women working in pretty high prestigious places, as well as some corporate companies not wanting us to wear some of their items. So, China, have you heard of any of these topics yet?
For sure. More recently, I heard of Lululemon. It looks like the CEO had basically said he wasn't looking for diversity when it comes to consumership of their products, or, he wasn't really looking for it to be marketable to minorities. I actually remember that the Lululemon name, the CEO had said he came up with that name because he heard that East Asian people had problems pronouncing L. And so he wanted to name the company that so they would pronounce it like woo woo women. And yeah, so it's just been problematic. When I think of Lululemon as a brand, I also don't connect it with people that look like me anyway. So
Do you know what's funny? I know sometimes us, and I'm going to speak for myself, I see some of these luxury brands like Lululemon as a status symbol. So I recently just got their belt bag, and I'm like, oh my gosh, like I reached the ultimate, like luxury kind of vibe. And it was just like a $30 bag, but I also got some leggings, and I felt just so prestigious because I was now wearing Lululemon. But it's funny how even like the founders and CEOs, they're quick to take our dollars, but they don't want us to wear their branding. So I just think it's funny how we get so caught up in wearing the Gucci's, Louis, but are we researching they want us to wear what they've created?
for sure, when you go to look into these companies, of course, they have a history of, outsourcing their work in unethical conditions, or just a history of racist product designers or CEOs or whatever you want to call it. Like, historically, it's there, but people get so caught up in keeping up with the Joneses that I feel like they don't care sometimes.
And I wonder if this is going to change black people when it comes to us shopping, or minorities when it comes to us shopping. Like, yes, they've told us they don't want us in their clothing, but are we still going to give them the money that we've worked so hard to receive?
Good question. I mean, I would like to think as society gets more progressive that we will see the light, but a lot of people have, I would say, Stockholm syndrome, where you like love your abuser. Like, they can't free themselves from these people that are making it so obviously clear that they don't like people who look like us. They don't consider value. They don't consider us like a valuable market, even though we are contributing a lot of black dollars to the upholding of these companies. They make it very clear that they don't care. So I sure hope so that we make a change, but we will just have to see.
And the topic of that, this is when shopping while black comes in handy so much. So we just need to be a little bit cognizant of where our money goes to while being black, shopping black, or shopping as a person of color. And this is why black owned businesses are so important. So Telfar, for example, or Brandon Blackwood, all of these companies, is really cool that they are receiving notoriety of like being luxury and just cool in general, but I just want to see more brands. So if you all have like any Lululemon dupes, black owned, or like black owned Ralph Lauren, Banana Republic, let me know. But on the topic of black businesses, there is a skincare company called Topicals. The founder is Olamide. She's a black woman. I believe she was the first black woman to raise over $1 million in like capital or revenue from investment. So I think that's pretty cool. But recently, Topicals went to Ghana for like an influencer kind of vacation for Detsy December. And I just thought that was beautiful marketing, beautiful like promotions, reaching Black influencers, and they just overall understood the assignments this holiday season. So, China, did you hear about the Topicals brain trip, or are you familiar with the company overall?
I am familiar with topicals. I really enjoy their under eye patches, and I'm looking forward to getting some of their new lip salve. I think it is, but yeah, I definitely heard about the brain trip. I thought it was so cool. It's when it comes to the concept of for us by us, I just think that it's so important. We need to see more of it. So yeah, I love seeing some influencers that I recognize. A lot of times with these brand trips, you hear about Tarte or Too Faced, stuff like that. You might hear like one or two Black people, maybe a few Asian people going on the trip, but it will be like primarily white influencers that are getting the opportunity to go out of the country on these brand trips. So it was nice to see so many Black people that it was probably their first brand trip. Or they might get invited to influencer events in the States, but they never get invited for anything outside of that. It was so nice to see so many people invited to that.
And I'm just ready to see more of this. So, more Black creators and influencers getting the recognition and the luxury other people have been receiving for years now. Again, I just know like some influencers, when they go on these brand trips, or Black influencers, when they go on these certain trips, they're not treated fairly or properly. So, just being celebrated and being treated well as influencers in the media, like I want to give a huge shout out to Topicals for that. On the same discussion of, Black women killing it, recently there have been a lot of news reportings of people in higher positions, such as higher educations, resigning from their positions, and even taking their own lives. And I just want to dive a little bit deeper into that. So, have you heard of these resignations by Black women at all, China?
I have. I feel like LinkedIn is like, in some ways, some people are calling it the new Facebook. So I've been paying attention to a lot of the posts on there. And that is a trend that we're seeing a lot more women resigning because they're acknowledging that if they stay there for a month longer, that they might not be here with us anymore. So it's just like that. It's just like a constant of feeling like disrespected, undermined, underpaid, overworked in the workplace. And a lot of women are like, I can't take it. I have to resign. Of course, you have to pay bills, you have to do this or that. But they are acknowledging that the workplace atmosphere is just not a positive place for Black women a lot of the times. The support systems are lacking on all platforms for all types of people, especially for Black women. So I am seeing it.
And you would think, like, with higher positions, people will see their credentials and give them basically the accolades they need. For example, the Black lady at Harvard, I believe she was like the vice president or something. She just held a very high position at Harvard. And she resigned because she was treated poorly. And it's just like, this doesn't end. If you don't have a college degree, you get treated poorly. If you have the highest of the level of degrees, such as the Harvard lady, you still get treated poorly. So it's just a mess right now.
For sure. And it's annoying because in our head, we come up with, well, when I get here, I'll be in a good enough place to do this. Or, we set these goals for ourselves and we get to those places and we're still unhappy because things are just lacking in general, you know?
It's very sad. And then recently I heard, I believe there is a lady at another university. She took her own life. I forgot the school name, but I don't want to butcher it. But
It's Lincoln Memorial.
Yes, Lincoln Memorial. And she took her own life because of, basically the workplace culture. And it's just like, when will this end, or when will people start talking about it and speaking up for Black women or people getting treated unfairly in general?
For sure. And even myself, I've had to consider, taking leave of absences and just, utilizing more mental health resources at my job because it gets stressful. It's a lot to deal with. I think as human beings, I would say this, I don't think it's right that we are working 40 hours a week. I don't think that the schedules are set up properly when it comes to our circadian rhythms. We should not be having to get up before the sun rises. Like, that's just not natural. I just think a lot of things about the environment, what do you say, the society that we live in, like the work culture, is just so freaking toxic. We hear about places like Sweden or Finland and stuff like that, and just all of the amenities that they have to make sure that their people are just overall happier and have a good quality of life, a good work-life balance. It was so interesting because I just saw on TikTok. It was like, no. It was like a Reddit thread, and they were saying, what do you notice about Americans? And they were like, I noticed that Americans are always smiling. And I was like, who said that? Who said that? I think it might have been a Frenchman that said that. But I'm like, girl, you just don't know.
Smiling away the pain for real, the cover up. And tying all of this back together with, Lululemon and wearing things for basically portraying ourselves as something, even in the work culture, I've noticed that sometimes myself, I have to go above and beyond just to not have imposter syndrome or have to prove myself at work. So even this relates to us, what we wear or how we speak or how we talk. We just want to get recognized and taken seriously in the workplace. But it's like, again, even with all the degrees and all the accolades, this, that, and the third, it's still hard for us in 2024. And I think that's just messed up overall.
It is. The one question that I just find myself asking asking is why or how? How do we get past this? When does it get better for us? There's supposed to be a light at the end of the tunnel, pot of gold at the end of the rainbow, but like, where is it? We've been at this for centuries. Where is it?
That's a really great point because, yes, we are talking about it, but no one is talking about how we can change this. Like, I don't have the solution.
I think the simple answer would be getting rid of white supremacy. More people of color need to be in these. More people of color that aren't also indoctrinated by white supremacy need to be in places of leadership and power. I mean, there's a couple of things that we could do, but then it turns everything on its head. And some people, the people that are benefiting from this, benefiting off of privilege, of course they don't want the system to be changed for us. They want to do what they want to for brownie points or diversity points, but they're not doing it because they really care. They don't care. They do not care.
And you can tell the companies that actually do care rather than say they care. This is, again, where you see like the brain trips of Black people thriving or just like great product marketing. When people of color are in these positions, you really, really notice the efforts and the marketing that goes into play in the workspace overall. So
for sure. Do you find, especially, I don't know, since COVID, I know my online shopping went up even more than it already was. Do you find yourself actively going back to shopping, trying to shop Black-owned businesses? Like, I'm a big Etsy girl, and that's one of the things I like to type in. Like, is this a Black-owned business? Or, like, what do you feel like you're actively doing, I guess, to try to contribute positively?
I'm going to be honest. I could do better. I should do better. I'm one of the people who call myself out, but I do like certain brands of clothing where it's popular in other spaces. So, but I just don't know better. So rather than me shopping at like a Ralph Lauren or something, if there's like a Black owned clothing store that emulates that or emulates like a Lululemon or something like that, I would shop there, but I'm just not doing my research and finding those companies.
For sure. And then sometimes we turn up our nose when we see the price. We're like, $50 for that? a screen printed T-shirt. Oh, you're not getting that, Black-owned business or not. But we have to remember there's other types of nuances to why they're charging so much. It's not always they're charging this much because they want to live soft life, luxury lifestyle. Like they genuinely might have to charge that much to break even. So,
and that's tough because we're so quick to spend money elsewhere, that $150, $200, but we won't do it for our own people or advocate for our own people in the workspace. So I gotta do better. I'm calling myself out. So yeah.
For sure, for sure. But I love it when I have something that I buy from a Black-owned company and I genuinely really like it, and the service was good, and I know that I'm going to return. So I hope to keep doing that in the future. I was just trying to think about what was the last Black-owned thing I bought. I think it was this Christmas sweatshirt. Because TikTok Shop, I love TikTok Shop, and they give coupons. But
Yes. The last item that I bought was like a sweatshirt at a local store. Even though it was like a expensive crew neck, the man sold me, he was like, support Black-owned businesses, and I'm like, you right. But it's a fly crew neck, so
yes.
yeah.
We love to see it. We love to hear it, and it's important to encourage people to keep buying Black. I feel like the only way we can really combat some of these negative things that are affecting us is to just try to do counterintuitive things, but in a good way for us, to try to benefit us. But yeah, definitely keep buying Black, y'all.
Yes. But I believe that's it. Again, I need to do better. So if you have any good Black-owned businesses or Black-owned brands, please comment down below or hit us up in our DMs or comments, please. But other than that, that is all that I have today. Do you have anything else, China?
Nope, that is all.
All right. Thank you all so much for watching, and we will catch you all on the next episode.
Bye.
See ya.